It's definitely a position for him long term. We thought he was our best player probably up until he hurt his shoulder, probably 3/4 of the way through the season. He was our best tackler. He was our tone setter, and I thought he was on his way to a heck of a season. But he's definitely a safety. They'll both play outside. They'll definitely battle outside in the spring and the summer, and we think we got two good ones there. But Paris will definitely go back in the nickel as well when it's time to go in there. I thought Dane had a very good season. I thought he came back and had a solid season. His whole thing since he's been here has been injuries, kind of. He's had some injuries and availabilities coming to play, but he's put together a heck of a season this past season. He's earned his right to free agency and probably try to recoup and get some things back. So you never know how those things go. But, I've spent my whole time here with Dean since we drafted him. It's never been a talent thing. It's always been an injury thing and an availability thing. Sometimes you miss. I mean, the draft, there's a lot of things you go through, and you want to pick the right guys, and you miss. We have drafted tough guys, and we brought in some free agents tough guys. Pass rush is not where we want it to be, obviously. We got to coach it better, and they got to play it better. But, that's a position that's obviously of need, as a few other ones are going into the draft and free agency that we know we need to address, and hopefully we can get that fixed and ironed out. Processing what we're doing is fine. You're rushing a passer. They're taught the right way, and you got to win. You got to win.
Sorry to pull you away from Todd Bowles, but I just want to remind you, this is why you subscribe. We got boots on the ground at the NFL Combine. Our team is doing a great job covering all week. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. We got free videos all year long. Draft analysis, free agency, and much more. And it's all for $0. Interactive and informative content from a Bucs fan for Bucs fans. That's what I'm trying to do. Make great content for you guys to cover. And with the NFL Combine and the NFL Draft coming up, I got you covered. We want to hear from you. This is not Chat Sports. This is Chat Sports, not Read Sports. So we want to hear from you. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. And without further ado, let's get back to Todd Bowles.
We evaluate them as football players, not how much they make. And, their work ethic and everything else will tell you how much they want it and how much they want to play. So we stick to that route right there, and the players will come to the top, and the other guys will kind of sort themselves out.
Todd, it was last year around this time you emphasized that you wanted ball hawks on the team. So this year, this time around, what is that emphasis of players that you need on this team?
I think we need to get bigger. From a team standpoint, I think we need to get bigger. We're smaller at some positions. From a size standpoint, I like to get bigger regardless of what position it is, and I think that'll be a little more emphasis this year.
Coach, you mentioned making some tweaks to the team's practice plan. Can you elaborate on some of the changes that you want to see going forward?
No, we haven't made them yet. It's just all about who we get and how we want to practice. We're still going through that process right there, but we definitely want to change some things in practice and not do the things that we have done in the past, and we've done some homework with some other teams and still kind of sorting through that process.
With all the injuries last year and some of the free agents getting a little bit up there in age, how much are you leaning on this draft?
We lean on the draft every year. We think we do a good job bringing guys out. We have 5 guys that contributed from last year's draft, and the previous couple drafts we had a lot of guys that contribute, but we always sign or try to find some key free agents that can help us going forward, but definitely the draft is something we're looking forward to.
Where do you feel your biggest gap is with creating depth in the depth chart?
I think we need depth everywhere. We really do need depth everywhere right now. Probably because we only have 2 inside backers under contract. You can say linebacker right now, but there's a few other spots that we need depth at that we got to address. Well, Zach is really my first time experienced play caller. Liam had it in college at Kentucky, but he didn't with the Rams. Sean kind of called it. So Zach is really my first time. He's been there 2 years, so that helps a lot. Just talking to him and interviewing him, he has a great feel for the game. He understands situational football. He knows what he wants and how he wants to do it. And just playing against him the last 2 years, I think I got a good feel for what he likes to do and wants to do, and I think he'll help us. I don't think I'm the one. I get that question every year, and I think when you guys start answering that question, we'll start getting some results. We can sit up here and talk all we want, but we're coaches who happen to be black, and we're all American, so you guys can answer that question. It's frustrating to see, but at the same time, you guys can turn over a lot of stones when you want a story, but I'll leave that story alone. Can you say that again, please? Just mastering the offense, his confidence and understanding the offense. I think Dave's done a great job getting him to see the game how he sees it, and I think he's really coming to his own. He's been a great athlete since he's been in the league, but he understands where to go with the ball. He threw the ball well at Alabama. He threw it last year well at Carolina, and you can see him coming into his own.
Coach, where's Dave Walker at sort of in that recovery process?
He's coming along. I mean, we'll see in the spring. He's doing a lot better. He's kind of working out and doing some things. I'll see exactly what he can do in the spring, so hopefully he'll be full go by summer.
Inside linebackers obviously seen as a need this offseason. What do you think about Sebastian Dennis? Do you still think he can be a starter?
He can be a starter if he cleans up his open field play. He played well against the run. He gave up some things in the pass game that we didn't like. It was his first full year starting, so we look for him to get better. But he'll definitely have competition.
Todd, what are the Eagles getting in Josh Grizzard as a basketball coordinator?
Josh is a bright guy. He's a very bright guy. It was his first time out. I think his future, his best coaching is ahead of him, and I wish him the best.
You guys obviously want to bring Mike Jones back, but if he chooses to leave, how do you guys feel about the receiver core losing that leadership and still having a Mecca who can lead and step up?
Is it okay for me to answer that if it happens? I don't want to answer that right now. That's a tough one.
You don't want to jinx it?
I don't want to jinx it.
Coach, what does Chris Braswell need to do to be ready to contribute at a higher level this season?
Just got to come off the ball consistently. I thought Chris made great strides last year, especially what we asked him to do. He's got to take it over this year. He really has to take it over this year. He showed flashes, but not fast enough flashes, and I think if we gave him a chance, I think he'll do a lot better job this year. We have not talked about it yet, so we're still sorting those things out.
Coach, it's fair to say at times last season, special teams really come back, but how does Davis Smith really change things? What does he bring to the table?
A lot of energy in the building. He might be the only one to out-coach Coach Moore. In my opinion, he's got a lot of energy. He's been in the game a long time. He's very smart. He's very bright. He can get the most out of guys, and he's going to hold everybody accountable, and look forward to seeing him coach. Baker can play. We've had him for 3 years now. We've gotten to know him. He's the same guy that we've known in 3 years. He's won some great games for us. We hadn't finished, especially this past year, the way we wanted to. And there's some interceptions he'd like to have back, but he knows that. But we're very confident in Baker and look forward to him being better this year.
It's become more and more of a trend for coaches
I don't know if there's anything you can't, because you tape all the interviews and you get them. Just seeing a person live and in person, and them seeing you and asking questions and sitting there hearing the answers live as opposed to on video. But other than that, you don't get to learn much. I came here to talk to you.
Coach, what specifically about Zach Robinson stood out to you during the process in terms of evaluating last year and saying, we don't have this or this, and we need this, and this guy can bring us that? Was there something like that stood out during the interview process with Zach Robinson?
Yeah, I've unfortunately had the task of doing a lot of interviews the last 3 years, so I've kind of gotten to interview all the up-and-coming coaches and offensive coordinators and all those things like that. And Zach has a very good, he reminds me of Liam a little bit from a game plan standpoint and an execution standpoint, but he's his own person. We're not running the same thing, so to speak, but his personality and style and the way he likes to do things and the way our guys can fit his scheme, I thought was the best among everybody we interviewed. And just playing against him 2 times past year and the year before that. Obviously, I've seen him play 4 times, so that's kind of an audition in itself as well. So I got to see the things he can cause problems for defenses, and I think he'll do a very good job here.
Do you think there'll be more of a switch to an outside zone rushing scheme like they had in Atlanta?
No, it won't be. I'm sure it'll be in, but it won't be the only thing we do. We can do a lot of other things, and he talked about doing a lot of other things. So there'll be some of that, but it won't be all of it.
politics, agencies, things like that, just from an outside looking in, because clearly
I just answered that question before you came over here. I get it, but at the same, I just answered that question. It's disappointing. Obviously, I'm disappointed, and I'm sure the league is disappointed. But until we just start addressing it and treating everybody as coaches and not black, white, Indian, Spanish, Chinese coaches, and treating people that's doing a good job and understands their job, it's not going to change. I think it's important to talk to everybody so you get a feel for everybody and you get to know them. You know when it's right for you, and I don't have to know the person to hire the person. I don't have to be best friends with anybody to make sure they're a good coach. And offensively, try to make sure I did a very good job of vetting everybody and understanding what we need and what we're bringing in and how they're going to fit our system. So I didn't know Zach, I didn't know Liam, I didn't know Dave. So they all turned out to be great coaches for us. I knew Grizz for a year, and I still think Grizz has a bright future. But I really like Zach, and I like the feel for where he is with our team, and I think he's going to be good. Well, I'm sure some of them do. I can't speak for everybody. Some of them do, some of them don't. Sometimes you got to have people watching your back, and sometimes you got to have brand new people, and it's a good mix between all of it. And depending on whoever the coach is, it's their preference.
Todd, how important was it to see Jalen McMillan produce the way he did when he returned at the end of the season, just knowing how serious of an injury it was and kind of what it means for the wide receiver going into next year too, how it helped the offense?
I was just happy to see him come back. There was a point in the season where I didn't know if he would come back, and then if he came back, I didn't know if he would have the jitters, especially with a neck injury. And I think the first game back, he took a vicious hit and kind of fell on his neck, and he got up like nothing happened, and then I was happy after that. But Jaden's a very talented guy. He's a very passionate guy. I think he fits in great with the receiver room. He's a workhorse. He comes out to work every day. I think he's got some great football ahead of him, and I'm glad he's back. I think we're aggressive. Because we haven't got them doesn't mean we're not aggressive. I think we signed the right type of free agents to come in here, and they're not necessarily the most big name to come in here, and that's okay with us because we need to find people that fit us as opposed to people we just give a bunch of dollars that may not fit us. I think that's important too, and when you're bidding against 32 or 31 other clubs, that makes it tough as well. So you got to have some plan B, C, D, and E's and so forth going down the line, but you got to find the right guys to fit your team. And in the past, Jason has done a great job doing that.
Is there something that individual teams are missing when it comes to making sure that players are okay, they have a crisis hotline, they can get free counseling sessions and away from the team. You've got the player engagement, you've got the psychologists that regularly come to facilities. Is there anything that's missing that the league maybe differently or better to help guys?
If there is, I don't know if there is. I mean, we're doing everything we can, and it's hard to help someone if they don't ask for help. And that's the biggest thing. We're not mind readers, and we got psychologists, and we got people that can do everything, and every team does. But, some people go through depression on their own, and they hide it very well, and I don't know what to do about that, and it's disheartening, and I hope there are other things that we can do, but I don't have the answer to that right now.